Welcome to Kendra's Artistic Crochet Designs. And today we are going to finish our fancy Clover. Okay, diamond. So, we'll get to that. We're going to chain 1 and turn. Now, we are on row 26 and we're going to be on the decreasing rows now because we're doing the other half of the diamond. So you will be chaining 1 instead of 2. In 25, you had 25 squares, okay, in row 25. Row 26, we're going down to 24 squares. So this is what we do on a decreasing row. We're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches. This forms our corner right here. And then we're going to start in the 3rd stitch. You're going to start your falling leaf stitch there. Alright. Then we're going to switch over to blue. And we need 2 blue. So there's 1 and 2. Alright, and then we switch over to the light green, and we need 1 light green. And then switch back over to the blue. And we need 1 blue. And then switch back over to the green, the light green, and we need a light green. And then we need to switch back over to the blue and put a blue in. Okay. And now we need to, we're going to bring everything forward. We're switching over to green. So make sure we did that right. Light green to blue, light green, blue, light green, and blue. Yes. Now we're switching to green. And we're still carrying these 2 colors with us. So we need 10 of these greens. So there's 3. Four. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. All right, drop that down, and we need to go to blue. Bring the blue up. And carry this green. We need a blue, one blue, and then two light green, so there's one, two, and then we need a blue, light green, blue, light green. All right. So we need blue here. Go to light green. Switch back to blue. And then light green. This is the last one right here at the end of the blue. And then we're going to slip stitch to this one right here, and there's our other corner right here. So that is 24 squares, and that is row 26. So there we have that. And then we're going to mark row 26 off. And we're going to chain one and turn. Alright, and we're going to slip stitch in the first two stitches. And then start our square in the third. And then we need to switch over to blue. Okay, so row 27, we need 3 blue after this. After this light green, we need 3 blue now. So there's 1. Two. 3. And then we need a light green right here. And then now we're going to go to blue again. And it looks like we're going to do light green, blue, light green, blue. And then, so this is the light green, the blue, and the light green. Does that make sense? Oh, am I looking at the wrong one? I am. That didn't make sense. I didn't think it did, but this does. Hang on a second. So, yes, now we're going to regular green after this blue, not light green. All right. All right, so we need 5 green now. So there's one. Two. Three. Four. And five. And now we need a light green. So we need a light green here. And then go back to the green. And we need 5 green again. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Okay, and we got to, we're going to go to the blue. And now we need 5 blue and 1 light green. We're going to leave this green behind. So 5 blue and 1 light green will finish off this row. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Switch over to the light green, and this last stitch right here we're going to do as light green. And when we started this the squares went up by 1. So like first row had 1 square, second row had 2, third row had 3. Now when we're doing these rows, it's going to go down by 1. So that was row 27, and we're down to 23 now. So 26 had 24, and 27 has 23. So it's going to decrease by 1 square every row. Alright, so we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to 27 is done. 28 is next. And so we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches. And then we're going to start our square in the third. Switching over to blue, we need 4 blue. So there's 1. 2. 3, and 4. All right, so now we're going to switch to green, and we need 12 green. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, and we are going to switch back over to the blue then. I'm leaving this green behind right here. And now I need 4 blue and a light green will finish off this row. So there's 2, 3, and 4. And now let's switch over to the light green, and we're going to make the last square here in the light green. Slip stitch there. Alright, so now we're going to chain 1 and turn. And that was row 28. Yeah, that was row 28. Alright, so 29. We're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches and then start our square in the 3rd stitch, and then we're going to go to blue, but this has to come over here. I'm going to get these tangled up if I don't watch. Alright, so we need 4 blue. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so we are going to pull in the green now, and we need 5 green. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Alright, so now we need a light green next. So we're going to put light green in here. And then go back to the green. And now we need 5 green again. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Alright, so now we're going to blue. Leaving this green behind right here. We need 4 blue. Yeah, 4 blue and a light green will finish off this row. Alright, last one is light green. Slip stitch there. And there we have, this is what row 29 should look like. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. And we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches. And start our square in the 3rd. And then switch over to blue. And we need 3 blue. So there's 1. 2. 3. And now we're going to switch over to the green. And we need 12 green. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What is that? Is that a knot or a flaw? And the yarn looks like it's a flaw. And now we're just going to have to cut that and tie that together, right? Because that's going to come apart. So we're just going to use the magic knot. Alright. Alright, this is the last one. It's the 12th one. Alright, and then we need to switch back over to blue. And now we have 3 blue. So there's 2. And 3, and then we're going to switch over to this light green for the last square, which will be light green. And then we're going to slip stitch there. And this is row 30, and row 30 has 20 squares. So we are down to 20 squares now. We went down from 25 to 20. All right. So let's mark that one off. And row 31 is on the way. Chain 1 and turn. All right. Alright, so now we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches and start our square in a third. Bringing in the blue, and we are going to need 3 blue. So there's 1. Two. And 3. And then switching over to green, we are needing 5 green, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switch over to the light green, and the next one will be light green. And then switch back over to the green. And now we need 5 green. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then now we switch back over to the blue. We're leaving that green behind. And now we need 3 blue and 1 light green will finish off this row. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then here's our light green, which goes in this last stitch. And we're going to slip stitch here, and there is row 31. Looking good. So 31. I'll mark that off. Row 32. We're going to chain 1 and turn. And we are going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches and then start our square in the third. Alright, now let's switch over to blue. And we are needing 5 blue. So there's 1, 2, 2, 3. Let's bring up this green and carry it with us for these last 2 blues. 4, and 5. All right, so now we're going to switch over to the green, and we need 6 green. There's 2. Three, 4, 5, 6. So now we need 5 blue and 1 light green. Well, this green needs to stay behind. So 5 blue and a light green will finish off this row. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then slip stitch there, and there we have it. So that is row 32 finished. "33" is next. So we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. And then we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches. Start our square in the 3rd. Alright, and switch over to blue. And now we need 4 blue. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. And we're going to switch off to the green. And that's right here. All right. Alright, so we need 3 green, a light green, and 3 green. So there's 2. Three. And then we'll put a light green in here. And then back to green. And now we need 3 green. So there's 1. 2. 3. And then we're going to switch over to blue. And we're going to do 4 blue and a light green. Should finish off this row. I'm leaving that green behind. So there's 1. 2. 3. And 4. Switching off to the light green and putting that in the last stitch. And slip stitching there to finish the row. So there's row 33 completely finished. So it's looking pretty good. Row 34. Now we're going to chain 1 and turn. And we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches. And start our square in the third. Alright, and we are going to need 4 blue, so there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now let's switch over to the green, and we need 6 green right here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. Switching back to the blue. And we are needing 4 blue and a light green should finish off this row. So there's 2. Three, and 4. Bring in the light green, finish off the row. So now we have, let's see if you can see that. Yeah. Now we have row 34 done. .35 is next, and we're going to chain 1 and turn our work and slip stitch in the first 2 stitches and start our square in the 3rd. And we switch over to blue. And we are needing 3 blue. So there's 1, 2, well, come on, and 3, and then we switch over to green. Ooh. So now we're in the process of finishing up this fancy Clover. So here is 2, 3, and then we need to switch over to blue. 3 green, 1 blue, and 3 green. And we're putting blue right in the middle of this thing. So back to green. And now we just need 3 of them. Alright, so now we need to go to And now I need to switch over to the light green again. And then this here is row 40 and 10 rows. 10 rows. 10 squares. So you're down to 10 squares in this row. Okay, so row 41 is next. So we're going to chain one, turn our work, and we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches and start our square in the third. And now we're going to, alright, so the first 3 are blue, so we need 3 blue next. Switch over to the light green. We need 1 light green. So this row is easy row. It consists of 1 light green, 3 blue, 1 light green, 3 blue, and 1 light green. This row does. Alright, so switch over to blue. So there's 1. 2. 3. And now the last one is light green. Why do that? That gets looser and looser. Slip stitch to the first stitch, and that is row 41. So looks like we finished up the square right there. It kind of looks like a diamond that way, don't it? So 41 is done. 42 is next. We're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches, and start our square in the third. And now we just need 6 blue. 6 blue and a light green. It's a light green, 6 blue, and a light green for this row. A really easy row. So 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switching over to the light green. And finishing off that last stitch. Alright, so this is row 42 finished. "43" is chain 1 and turn. Slip stitch in the first 2 stitches, and then start our square in the third. Switching over to blue. Now we need 2 blue, so 2 blue, a light green, 2 blue, and a light green. And that's the end of the row. Well, let's switch over to the light green now. Alright, so there is 43 rows finished. "44. Chain 1 and turn our work. And now we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches and start our square in the third. And now we're going to switch over to blue. So this row consists of 1 blue, 2 light green, 1 blue, and a light green. So it's actually a light green, 1 blue, 2 light green, 1 blue, and a light green. So here's our blue. Back to light green, we need 2 light greens. Back to blue. Did I put 1 too many stitches in there? Yes, I did. There's a blue. And then we're back to the light green. To finish it off. That was row 44. 45, chain 1 and turn. And we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches. And then start our square in the third. And this row, we're just alternating. So this is the light green, and we're going to alternate all the way across. Light green, blue, light green, blue, light green, blue, light green. So, there's light green. Here's a blue. Now switch over to the light green. And here's a blue. Switch over to the light green, and this is the last stitch. And this is row 45, and you should only have 5 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 squares in this one. So there is 45 rows. "46 is next. We're going to chain 1 and turn. And then we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches. And then start our square in the third. Bring up the blue. And then we're just going to put 2 blue in. It's light green, 2 blue, and a light green, because you are down to 4 squares in this row. Here's the last stitch. Oh, that's right. And here we go. Alright, so now we're going to chain 1 and turn for 47. Slip stitch in the first 2 stitches and start our square. So 47, we're down to 3 squares, so it's just light green, blue, light green. So let's get that blue up out of there. There we go. And then go back to the light green. Yeah, this is actually the last of the blue. Hang on. I don't want that blue in there. Alright. And then rows 48 and 49 are so easy. We are going to actually cut this blue off. I cut those off long so I can sew those ends in. Alright, so we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 and then start our square in the third. And in this row, you're just going to have 2 light green Just 2. This is row 48. Slip stitch here, chain 1 and turn, and in this row you're only going to have 1 light green, and this is the last row. And cutting that off too. Alright, so now I don't think it matters front and back on this, but if you think it does, if you like one side better than the other, then we'll pick a side. I am going to go and sew in my ends before I go any further, and then we'll be back to do the border. But that is pretty cool. Let me make sure that this is out so you can really it is completely out so you can see it. So there it is. There's the diamond. So cool. All right. So I'm going to sew my ends, and I'll be back to show you how to do the border. Okay, so we are going to put a border on this thing. And I'm going to start up here. So, we're going to put 2 half double crochets in the corner. Okay, and now we're just going to half double crochet in the stitches down the side. So you kind of look for those stitches. So there's 2 here, and then the next one there's 3. And then 2. And then 3. And sometimes it's hard to get into those because those are the ones that we slip stitched in. Just go down below the slip stitch and go around the whole thing. Because it's hard to get into those slip stitches. So don't try. So just go down little ways and go around the whole thing. There we go. So by the end of this row, you should have 59 stitches. So I'm going to finish my row and meet you down here at the corner. Okay, so we're at the corner. There's 59 stitches going down this side. This is important for you to know, and I'll tell you why. So anyway, on the corner now, we're at the corner. We are going to do 2 half double crochet, chain 2, and 2 half double crochet in that corner. And then we're going to work down this side. Now this is a long side because there are 2 long sides. This side and this side. And then there are 2 short sides. This side and this side. Okay? So this side looks different than the last side we did. And like this side and this side is exactly the same. Okay? But the 2 short sides are exactly the same. So we are going to, there's a stitch right here. And then there's a double crochet right here. You're going to put 2 around that. Okay. And then there's a hole right here. You're just going to put 1 in there. And then 1 in, this is the stitch that we put 3 in. And then you're back to your double crochet, which you're going to put 2 around. And then so on. So by the time you get to the end of this, side, you should have 49 stitches. 48 to 49, somewhere around there. Okay. Then you'll do the corner, which exactly the same way we did this. All corners are 2 half double crochet, chain 2, 2 half double crochet. And then you're going to continue all the way around, finishing this round, and I will meet you at the top where we started. Okay, so I'm all the way around there, and I need to finish this. I forgot to do that. I need to finish this corner also. I'm going to put 2 half double crochets in there, and then I'm going to connect it with a half double crochet to the first stitch that I started to make this corner. Alright, so now we are just, yes, we are going to do front loop only. Well, first of all, let's chain 1 and put 2 half double crochets in this corner we just made. And then front loop only. We need a half double crochet and just the front loop only. And you're going to do this all the way around, keeping the corners as 2 half double crochet, chain 2, and 2 half double crochet. So, but we're just going to do front loop only, half double crocheting all the way around in each stitch, and then the corners. And I will meet you at the end of this row. Okay, so I am all the way around it. We're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work so that you can see this little design going down here. Okay, so in the corner here, we're just going to put 3 single crochets in this corner. And then in the back loop only, we're going to single crochet down the side. Just the back loop only. And you're going to do this all the way around. So the corners are 3 single crochets in each corner, and single crochet in the back loop only all around the sides. And you're going to go all the way around it like that. Anyway, I want to, I'm hoping that you guys are having a lot of fun with these diamonds. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and bye-bye now.